Hey everyone. So, I'm finally uploading this video. It took me a while to finally be able to sit down and record and get everything together. This video is just me painting on the iPad with watercolor Max pack or whatever it's called, and painting a creative portrait for this online challenge. I really enjoy doing online challenges because they really they're like an incentive to just create something. And as you can hear, I'm still kind of congested, so that's why it also took me a while to sit down and record, because I had like no voice. Yeah, and so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Yeah, and I think the next video that I will be posting will be another creative portrait. Hey everyone. So today I thought that we would sit down and I would draw an expressive portrait that I saw this challenge on Instagram by Rizo, I think her name is. She's a Dutch artist, or at least she's based in Amsterdam, and she has these beautifully expressive portraits that she's been doing on her iPad with the watercolor Max pack, and they're absolutely gorgeous. She adds these very childlike elements of like child drawn eyes and whatnot, and she had the idea of creating a challenge of in the first week of February of expressive portraits, and that every day there was going to be another theme. And I loved the idea because, as I said, last month in January I was going through some difficult moments, and I've always found that art has been a way to resolve and heal. And I've been looking for a project that could help me understand my emotions and help me deal with certain things that I'm feeling. But I hadn't really consolidated anything. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to create and how I wanted to express it and how blatantly, clear I wanted to be. And I'm mumbling now. I know, I'm fully aware that I'm mumbling. But so now with this idea of expressive portraits, I thought perfect, because I have a very expressive way of being. Pretty much what you can always tell what I'm feeling, because I just show it. I completely show it on my face. I'm not very good at hiding my emotions. And so I thought this was the best way to really pour out my emotions onto an image. And I'm going to be using my face to show it. So I thought that was perfect. So that's what I'm drawing at the moment. It's just, me doing different facial expressions and seeing, I didn't really think when I was creating these facial expressions. It was just, quick pose, take a selfie type thing. And I used to take self-portraits a lot when I was doing photography. I remember when I was going through my divorce, I used self-portraits to really help with my self-esteem, because after my divorce, my self-esteem was completely depleted. Absolutely, I had no self-esteem whatsoever. And so I started to regain a sense of self through photography. Some of them were just exploring movements, and they were blurry. Some of them were exploring the body and the fact that I'm a woman, and some were exploring more the fact that I'm an artist. And it was a really cool project that really helped me, I want to say. It really did. It helped me a lot in those moments, because divorce is ugly. Even if you want a divorce, it's still ugly. You see the monstrous side that we all have. And I think it was Jordan Peterson that said that we all need to accept that we have this monster within us. I mean, even Jung talks about this. And once you accept it, we're yin and yang. We have good and bad within us. And it's good to be aware that you are capable of doing horrible things. I mean, you might think if you're in love, oh no, you would never be capable, or oh no, I would never do that. You don't know what you would do. You don't know how you would react. You don't know how you would treat the person. You don't know. And it's not a nice place to be in. Going through divorce, having children with someone, and then still having to, resolve issues with them while still trying to heal from, the reasons for a divorce. Because you don't just divorce to get divorced. There's always a reason. It could be because you no longer love each other. It could be because of, abuse. It could be because of many reasons. Financial reasons. But there's always a reason. And because of those reasons, there's going to be pain. Because a divorce is, like a death. And with death, there's always a mourning period. And it's difficult. It's a very difficult situation. And so I found a lot of healing through art. And that's also when I started offering art classes and art events, because I wanted to share with people this liberation that I had through art. It was such a beautiful encounter. And I know that a lot of the people that would come to my classes would also feel just so much joy creating whatever. This is way too fat. I always do that. I always create these really long or fat faces, and then I always have to go back and erase them. But it's a good guide to have, even though it's not the correct one. And also the pose that I picked is difficult. It's not the most appealing pose, but it's a very true pose. I mean, if I were to think about it, I think it would represent like this desire to just sleep. I mean, I'm a mom to a baby, and he's 9 months old, and some babies take to their cribs easier than others, and he is enjoying not going to his crib, and that's fine. The nice side of having 3 kids is that you're very aware that it's all just a phase and it will pass. And so I'm able to really enjoy this phase. I think with each child that you have, you become a better parent. You realize, oh no, this didn't work. This does work. Maybe this will work. But the thing is that with children, they're all different. They all need different things. They all have their own different personalities, where one thing might have been the right way to do it with this child, but then with the other child it's the completely wrong thing to do. And it's there's really no right answer. You just really need to pay attention to what your child says. You need to talk a lot with your children, and it's only through communication and being actively present that you can then realize what they truly need. It's still a bit fat. I mean, it's getting there, but I think the mouth is a bit wonky. Like this side especially. And lately I have really been enjoying doing these portraits. Just portraits. Even though my last one, the last artistic endeavor that I did for myself, not for work, was this beach scene that I posted on Instagram, and oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun to draw waves, and because just like the human face, waves, water can be quite complex and difficult to get right. But it was such a joy. I hope the person enjoys it as much as I enjoy creating it. And I think this needs to come down. This is too high. Now this pencil that I'm using is from the gouache set. This is my favorite pencil. I absolutely love using it. It's so much fun. I like the tapping noise that the tablet has when drawing on it, and this is a bit too slanted. The eraser I'm using is actually from the watercolor pack. There you go. It's looking a bit better. That's just so much fun. Once the sketch starts taking shape, oh, I just feel so much joy from drawing. So much joy. So I was talking about what sleep means to me. It's in this portrait, it's more of just being able to rest. Just being able to rest. Because, you know, being a mom, you can't really just take time and be like, oh, you know what, kids? I'm just gonna focus on me right now. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You need to be there for them. And at the moment, that's pretty much all that I've been doing, focusing all my energy on them. To see if, you know, to make sure that they're okay. Because as a mom, you're creating the next generation of human beings that are going to be out in the world and interacting with people. And so you need to give them a moral compass so that they know how to handle things and how to approach people and how to accept others. You need to give them that, otherwise you're not doing the right job. You need to give them self-confidence and self-worth and teach them how to listen to themselves and how to respect others. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. Lately I've been reading The Little Prince since I'm trying to get better with French, which, oh my God, it can be difficult since, you know, with the baby and everything, it's hard to find moments where you can just sit down and study French. I mean, luckily I have this really cool person here. She's a friend. Let's call her a friend. And she's starting to give me classes. Oh, And it was just really nice to be able to sit down and focus on myself. So I decided to reread Le Petit Prince to practice French. I mean, I have it in Spanish and I have it in French. And it's amazing how if you don't use language, you forget about it. Because, I mean, I read that in French back when I was learning French at the university, and I had no problem. I mean, sure, of course, there's some vocab that I didn't know and everything, but I had no problem with it. Now it's like, oh my God, which tense is this? What does this word mean? What happened here? What does he want? Where is he going? How did he get here? But being a language nerd, I love pulling it apart and writing notes. I love to write in my books. And I know for a lot of people that's like, oh my God, how could you write in a book? No, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I used to love buying used books that had notations in them. It's like you were reading alongside someone. It was a lot of fun. And I would imagine a lot of the time like, okay, so who read this before me? What type of person were you? And my daughter, I told her that I wanted to read this book, and she's like, oh, we have it in Spanish. And so she was looking everywhere for the book. And I sat down yesterday and I was reading it to her. Oh, it was nice. It was nice to sit down and read a book. It was a lot of fun. She really enjoys it. And when I told her, you know, this book is actually not a kid's book. She's like, what? How can it not be a kid's book? It sounds like it's a kid. I don't like how that looks. It sounds like it's a kid's book. And I'm like, yeah, but it actually isn't. She couldn't understand why it wasn't. I actually don't like how it looks when I smear around the eye. But let's see if I like it how it looks around the nose. Yeah, that I'm gonna like. Funny how with the eyes I didn't like it, but for the nose I did. And here it needs to be smeared because it looks like I have a mustache. Smear. It's a bit too big. To work on the lips. So yeah, reading The Little Prince. It's such a lovely book. Such a lovely book. And I quickly read the chapter of the wolf. Not the wolf. It's not a wolf. It's a fox. It's a nice chapter. How he wants to be domesticated. And explaining to the prince what it means to be domesticated. Oh, it almost made me cry. It's so pretty. Absolutely pretty. That looks better. That I like. Alright guys, me signing off now. So you guys have a great weekend.